This is Women Rise to Lead, episode 22, The Freedom to Be You. Are you seeking inspiration, insightful tips, and weekly steps to be in action? Welcome to your podcast, Women Rise to Lead. I am your host, Patricia Lagopatis. Even though I was an extremely shy girl, I became an entrepreneur, advisor, and public speaker. I never thought I could have the confidence and courage to show up, speak up, and build a business living my aspired lifestyle. After many attempts and lessons learned, I'm the entrepreneur and leader I always dreamed of becoming. This weekly podcast will empower and encourage ambitious and aspiring women in business to move forward and achieve a new level of leadership, a level that honors who you are. I love to uplift women so they can own their worth and be the entrepreneur leader they were born to be. Because we, as women, can inspire the female leaders of tomorrow by showing up as our amazing selves. So, let's keep shining. Welcome to today's episode. Today's inspiration is from the Greek Stoic philosopher Epictetus, born nearly 2,000 years ago, but they're not sure exactly of his dates, but they range around 50 AD to 135 or 138 AD. He quotes, "Is freedom anything else than the right to live as we wish? Nothing else." Epictetus taught that philosophy is a way of life, that the foundation of philosophy is self-knowledge. His approach to life was that external events that happened are beyond our control, so we should accept what happens calmly and be responsible for our own actions. We can examine our actions and control them through self-discipline. He believed that true education consisted in recognizing that there's only one thing that belongs to an individual, his will or purpose. His chief concerns were about integrity, self-management, and personal freedom. His primary interest was to tell the truth, and he wanted universal harmony. Such profoundness. We can recognize the deep self-awareness he had and the work he has done to achieve that, which later became a global contribution to humanity. In his quote, we can hear one of his primary concerns of personal freedom. Is freedom anything else than the right to live as we wish? Nothing else, as his quote says. How does this quote resonate with you? So much has happened these days and past few years around freedom, and so it's a subject, a value that is dear to most people. Whether that's about the freedom of women's rights on all subjects, the freedom of speech, the freedom of choice, the freedom to be, we can all relate. With the lack of freedom, we may have some deep desires, wishes put on hold for various reasons. Yet with patience and determination, the opportunity eventually opens up and we can finally proceed with that which we wished for. No person, country, circumstance, or world issues can stop us from living our wish as long as we keep the desire alive within, take steps towards it, and make it happen when we can. I personally think the biggest freedom is the freedom to be our true self. By that I mean to have the courage to be true with our own self, and then take that courage and align ourselves with actions that reflect our truth. One of the hardest things to do, I admit, and at the same time, it is one of the most freeing experience ever. I could speak for hours on this subject, but I'll stick to the essentials. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being free to be yourself, where are you? Where would you like to be on the scale, and by when? What will be your first action towards it this week? I can't help myself. The coach in me always comes through, as in the actionable steps as well that I love to share on these podcasts. What does being free to be yourself look like? Take a few moments at the end of the podcast and write 2-3 points on this. And what is in your way stopping you from being free? As you can see, freedom is one of my primary values in life. When you are free to be yourself, you tap into your immense power, the power you were given at birth. The power that is there to be uncovered for you to be the entrepreneur, the leader you are born to be. Are you willing to welcome your power? Our theme today is the freedom to be you. This week's actionable step that I propose to you is pick one area in business where you can begin to show up as your true self. It gets easier with practice, trust me. Want to be uplifted every Monday to start your week? Then you don't want to miss my weekly extra tips, insights, and motivation delivered every Monday morning in your mailbox. Plus, you get first chance to know about my online courses, workshops, and more. Subscribe on my website, patricialagopatis.com. You will surely be uplifted. And finally, you're a rare cut diamond waiting to be polished so you can shine. Day by day, show up being more of your true self and discover the freedom of being you. Until next week, live life the way you wish to live it. Have a great week being the amazing woman that you are. Thank you for joining me in today's episode of Women Rise to Lead. If you enjoyed it and found it valuable, please share it with others and subscribe to the podcast or for my weekly newsletter found on my website, patricialagopatis.com, so you can automatically get my new weekly podcast episodes. I'd love to hear from you personally, and I'd be grateful if you can leave me a review. You're welcome to share your progress or comments by joining the conversations on my social platforms of Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Women Rise to Lead podcast honors who you are as women entrepreneurs and leaders and is filled with inspiration, insightful tips, and actionable steps to keep you moving forward. And remember, every action you take will bring you one step closer to your dream.